I'm Jerry.
I'm Allan.
We are
Bourbon Buds.
Welcome to Terminology Tuesday, where we break down the words behind the whiskey so you know exactly what's in your glass. So if you've ever wondered why one bourbon tastes sweeter and smooth and another one just punches you right in the face or right in the throat,
Well, bam.
it all comes down to one thing.
Mash bill.
Right, and the mash bill is just simply the recipe of grains used to make the whiskey before it ever hits the barrel.
Like some of those grains can be corn, rye, wheat, malted barley, or any other cereal grain you have out there.
Yeah, rice is not as commonly used, but certainly rice could be added to that as well.
JT Milk is one of those rice whiskeys.
So to legally be called a bourbon, the mash bill has to contain at least 51% corn.
And it's what develops that sweetness to the bourbon, the foundation of your typical bourbon.
Yeah, certainly the corn helps with sweetness. Wheat also helps with sweetness and smoothness. But rye is really what punches you in the face. You get a lot of spiciness, pepper, a lot of bite to it. And that's why a lot of people, I think, gravitate toward rye whiskeys over the wheated whiskeys.
Yeah, the rye just adds such a depth. I know some ryes you get that big punch of flavor of rye, spiciness. Sometimes you get baking spice. Other times you get mint, which is weird. But it just depends on the bottle. The mint is a really cool note when you can pick it up.
Yeah, and then last but not least, malted barley just simply helps with fermentation.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do a lot for flavor.
It just adds that maltiness note like you would expect out of a Whopper or a malted milk ball. But it helps break down and converts more sugars into alcohol, which produces your more proof.
Yeah, so this is why you might love one bourbon over another, even at the same proof. The mash bills being different, the wheat versus rye, it's going to give you two totally different flavor profiles, even at the same proof.
Yeah, it's cool how the mash bill can completely change a whiskey. Just example, like this rye, you just get this amazing flavor, the rye baking spice, and then you step over to the Weller and it's just sweet as can be. It's so smooth, easy drinking, and some people get that funkiness note of the wheat as well too.
Yeah, so we have a buddy that is a huge rye guy. His name is Steve. We absolutely respect everything he knows and does about whiskey. He's very, very knowledgeable. He's very experienced. Rye is the only way to go for him. And he actually opened my eyes a little bit more to the rye mash bill. I've been a sweet kind of bourbon fan to begin with, but he taught me the higher the rye content, you will get a little sweetness with it.
Yep.
So I was not expecting that with a rye mash bill, but I've had some 95.5 ryes that have really surprised me of how sweet they are. And this Driftless Glen 10-year rye is probably the best rye bottle that I have on my shelf. This is absolutely fantastic.
And what I've learned the years that I've been into whiskey, I first started out with just regular straight bourbon, corn, a little bit of rye, then malted barley. And I just slowly became more into proof. And the more I loved proof, the more I got into rye. And I'm at a stage where I am a rye heavy profile right now. So I think that has something to do with the rye and the proof. Some ryes that don't have as much proof, but you get that fill in from that rye spiciness, which is kind of cool that you can just, it interchanges And like you're talking about, the higher the rye mash bill, the smoother, the more notes you get, more sweeter. It's just so cool to see how a mash bill can drastically change a bottle from a bottle.
So we just
Yeah,
did a video on proof a couple weeks ago, so go back and check that out. So proof can increase the bite, it can increase the flavor, but don't confuse that with mash bill. Mash bill is specifically about what you're tasting, the pepper spice, the baking spice. Um, yeah, maybe the rye spiciness will, punch you in the throat a little bit more than a softer wheated bourbon, as like the Weller or the Ben Holiday. But don't confuse mash bill with proof because they're two totally different things.
yeah, and another thing to touch on is um, the typical whiskey has 2 to 3 grains in it. There can be 4 grain mash bills. There can be five. Um, I know Penelope mainly uses their corn, the rye, wheated, the wheat, and then the barley. I know um, Frey Ranch also uses a 4 grain mash bill as well. So you can have that versatility of swapping and interchanging the grains in certain spots, but you cannot mess with the corn though.
If it's
Unless
a
you're
bourbon,
bourbon was.
if it's a bourbon, correct. So bourbon has to have 51% corn. Uh, so I think another interesting note is, like you're saying, there are 4 grain mash bills. There are straight mash bills as well. Frey Ranch makes a 100% wheat bourbon.
Yep.
There's different offerings that make 100% rye. JT Mellick uses rice in their
Yep.
formulas. We've not had, at least I have not had the chance to sample any of their offerings. But I think from what I understand, the rice makes a total different flavor profile as well.
It's very interesting and very tasty.
Yeah.
You could also have an American single malt, which is just 100% single malted barley.
Yeah. So open your palates, open your mind, try some different mash bills, see what you like, see what your flavor profile is, and if you're like Allan and I, as your whiskey or bourbon journey grows, I think your palate matures, your palate changes. I think for sure. And you appreciate the different mash bills that are out there and that are available. I still love the wheated bourbon. I love sweet things, but I am really, really coming into my own on the rye mash bills, the spiciness of the rye. I have a Hockatown distillery bottle, small craft distillery. That's a rye mash bill. That's really heavy black pepper. And I didn't really care for it at first, but that bottle's almost gone because I really, really I matured into it, and I just really like it a lot now. So open your mind, open your palate, try some different mash bills, see what it is that you like. See if you can tell the difference in the wheat or the rye. And when you get to that point, have someone set up a blind for you. Have a wheat bourbon and a rye bourbon, or a straight malted bourbon or malted whiskey, and see if you can tell the difference. Because it's truly remarkable, the different recipes that are available in whiskeys and bourbons.
And
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode of Terminology Tuesday. Drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you think of it. Check out our socials: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out our friends at TFDD Whiskey on their YouTube and Discord as well. Let's grow their channel, or help them grow their channel as well.
also, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell down below, so you can follow us, and it'll let you know when we drop another fine video on here. And also, just so we can get that subscriber, we're at 151. Let's get us to 200 and get us even more, so you guys we can put out more of this Terminology Tuesday to help educate people who are new into whiskey, or just interested into the hobby of whiskey.
Yeah. So one more question before we go. Allan, are you going to let your beard grow back?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. I'm Jerry.
I'm Allan.
Keep on sipping.
Please drink responsibly.
That Jack Gin is fabulous. Oh my God.
Sorry, I had to put that in there.
Huh?